Imagine with me for a moment 10 years from now. Think about where you want to be. What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to become? What impact do you want to have on those around you? Now, let me tell you this, the actions you take today will determine your tomorrow. Your future isn't something that happens by chance. It's something you create by design. It's something you choose. And you can start today. Create a vision. Imagine a future where everything you've ever dreamed of has become a reality. Picture your ideal life where your personal and professional goals are not just aspirations, but accomplishments that you've turned into everyday experiences. Think of the person you've always wanted to become, the version of you that's full of confidence, energy, and purpose. This vision, your vision, is the guiding light that will lead you from where you are today to where you want to be in the next 10 years. The power of a vision is immeasurable. It's not just a vague dream or wishful thinking. A true vision is a crystal clear image of your future, one that excites you, motivates you, and pulls you forward even when the road ahead seems uncertain. It's the reason you wake up every morning with a sense of direction and purpose. Without a vision, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting through life without knowing where you're going or how to get there. But with a vision, you have a destination. You know what you're working toward, and every action you take has a purpose. Creating a vision means going beyond what's comfortable. It's not about what feels easy or what's already within reach. It's about imagining the highest version of yourself, the person who accomplishes more than you ever thought possible. It's about thinking big, really big about what you want to achieve in the next decade. It's about stretching the limits of your imagination and daring to dream beyond what others think is possible. What do you want your life to look like? What kind of impact do you want to have? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? A vision should be detailed and compelling. Don't settle for vague or generic goals. Be specific. Visualize your success in rich detail. What is your life like when you've achieved everything you set out to do? What does your day-to-day look like? What kind of people are you surrounded by? How do you feel both physically and mentally? How have you grown? Dive into the emotions, the senses, the experiences of living that life. The more vivid and concrete your vision, the clearer your path will become. Your vision isn't just about material success, it's about your growth, your relationships, and the kind of person you are becoming. What kind of leader will you be? What will your influence be on those around you? What legacy will you behind? Your vision should encompass every aspect of your life, career, health, family, finances, personal development, and contribution to others. A powerful vision touches every corner of your existence, aligning your passions, your purpose, and your deepest desires. Once you have a vision, it becomes your compass. It tells you where to go and how to prioritize your actions. It acts as a filter, helping you make decisions that align with your long-term goals. When obstacles arise, you'll have the strength to push through because your vision will remind you why you're doing what you're doing. It will give you the resilience to stay the course when things get tough and the clarity to know when it's time to change direction or adapt. This vision becomes your most valuable asset. It's the driving force behind your daily decisions. Every action, every choice, every hour you spend is either bringing you closer to this vision or taking you further away. And when you start with a clear and powerful vision, you won't be distracted by the trivial things that often derail us. Your focus sharpens. You begin to understand the value of time and how crucial it is to use every moment wisely. As you continue to refine and live by this vision, it will expand and evolve. What you see for your future today might not be the exact same vision you have in a few years. You'll grow and your vision will grow with you. But having a starting point, a clear and inspiring vision sets the foundation for everything else. It's the first step to creating the future you want. In 10 years, you'll look back at the person you are today, and you'll realize that this moment, this very step, is where it all began. When you start with a powerful vision, everything else starts to fall into place. The opportunities, the connections, the experiences, they all come into focus when you have a clear destination in mind. So don't wait. Create your vision now. Let it guide you. Let it inspire you. and let it push you toward becoming the person you've always known you could be. Embrace consistency. Success is not a result of sudden bursts of effort, nor is it achieved through one-time actions. It's the product of a steady, consistent commitment to the work that needs to be done day in and day out. Too often we hear about overnight successes, or we see people who seem to have achieved greatness effortlessly. But the truth is, behind every so-called overnight success is years of consistent, unseen work. It's the daily, sometimes mundane actions that build a foundation for something extraordinary. If you want to be truly successful, you must embrace consistency as the key to your progress. Consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing in exactly the same way every day. It's about making a commitment to showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when it gets tough, and even when you can't see immediate results. It's about making the small, daily choices that over time will add up to something massive. In fact, the power of consistency is in its simplicity. It's about small, incremental actions that compound over time. When you consistently take action, you set yourself on a trajectory that will inevitably lead to success, because it's the consistent actions, not the one-off efforts, that make the difference. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new goal or an inspiring vision, but the initial motivation and enthusiasm can fade quickly. The key, however, is not relying on motivation alone. Motivation can be fickle, and it doesn't always show up when you need it the most. But consistency is something you can rely on. It's the discipline to do the work, whether you feel like it or not. It's the mindset that says, I'm going to show up today, even if today is not perfect. I'll give my best, even if it's just a small step forward. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it's a habit. Habits are the building blocks of success. The things you do every day without fail are what define your future. The more you practice consistency, the more automatic it becomes. What once seemed difficult or daunting will eventually feel natural. It's not about waiting for the right moment or for the perfect conditions to take action. It's about creating a rhythm, a routine that becomes a part of who you are. The key to making consistency work is creating systems and habits that support your goals, rather than relying on willpower alone to keep you going. Think about all the little things you do each day that may seem insignificant in the moment. Whether it's reading a few pages of a book, taking 30 minutes to work on a skill, exercising, or simply staying organized, these actions, when done consistently, will build the momentum you need to achieve your big dreams. If you show up and do the work every day, even when you don't see instant results, you'll start to notice that the compound effect kicks in. What once seemed small will eventually become a significant accomplishment. A single day of effort may not bring a breakthrough, but a week, a month, a year of consistent effort will absolutely move you toward your goals. Consistency also builds resilience. When you make a commitment to show up, even on the hard days, you begin to develop mental toughness. You prove to yourself that you can persevere no matter the obstacles. This resilience is what keeps you going when things get tough, when the results don't come immediately, or when you feel like quitting. It's the consistency of your efforts that turns challenges into opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. Every time you push through, you're reinforcing the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. Another benefit of consistency is that it builds trust in yourself and in others. When you consistently show up, not just for your work, but for the people in your life, you build a reputation as someone who can be counted on. People notice consistency. They notice the person who always follows through, who always puts in the work, who is dedicated to their craft. This trust is invaluable, whether it's in your personal relationships or in your professional endeavors. Consistency builds the foundation for long-term success because it's something that others can rely on. But consistency isn't just about showing up and doing the work, it's also about improvement. Every time you take consistent action, no matter how small, you're learning, growing, refining your approach. The key to consistency is not just repetition, but intentional improvement. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to adjust your methods, and to get better. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Consistency gives you the chance to evaluate what's working, what's not, and how you can make your process even more effective. Over time, the power of consistency becomes undeniable. The progress may not always be visible in the short term, but it's there, building underneath the surface. And when you look back after months or years of consistent effort, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. You'll look at the body of work you've created, the skills you've developed, and the person you've become, and you'll realize that consistency was the driving force behind your success. It wasn't the one grand action that got you to where you are. It was the small, consistent steps that kept you moving forward, even when the journey seemed long or uncertain. Success isn't about doing something extraordinary once in a while. It's about doing the ordinary things consistently and at a high level. It's about making small, daily choices that add up over time to something remarkable. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by working in fits and starts. They got there by showing up every single day, no matter what. They embraced the power of consistency and they trusted the process. So, if you want to achieve something meaningful in your life, you need to embrace consistency. Commit to showing up, commit to the process, and trust that every small step you take will lead you to where you want to go. The journey may be long, but with consistency you can accomplish anything. Commit to personal growth. Personal growth is the foundation upon which all success is built. Without it, no matter how hard you work or how smart you are, you'll find yourself stagnating. But when you make the conscious decision to commit to your own growth, everything changes. It's a decision to continually improve, to expand your knowledge, to challenge your own limits, and to become the best version of yourself. This commitment isn't just a one-time thing, it's a lifelong journey, a path that requires intention, dedication, and the courage to step outside your comfort zone. The first step in committing to personal growth is recognizing that there is always room for improvement. No matter how much you've achieved, no matter how far you've come, you are not yet the person you are capable of being. Growth is a never-ending process. And to truly succeed in life, you must continually strive to become more than you were yesterday. This means being open to learning, being willing to fail, and having the humility to admit that you don't know everything. The greatest individuals in history, the ones who made the most impact, were those who never stopped learning, never stopped growing. They sought knowledge, they welcomed new experiences, and they embraced the idea that there is always more to discover, both about the world and themselves. But personal growth is not just about learning new skills or gaining new knowledge, it's also about developing the right mindset. Your mindset shapes your reality. It's the lens through which you see the world, and it dictates how you respond to challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. A mindset committed to growth is one that sees obstacles as opportunities, failure as feedback, and challenges as chances to learn. When you commit to personal growth, you adopt a mindset that says, I can improve and I can handle whatever comes my way. It's the mindset of resilience, of perseverance, of continual improvement. And this mindset doesn't just help you achieve your goals, it transforms the way you approach every aspect of your life. Committing to personal growth also means taking responsibility for your own development. It's easy to blame external circumstances, your upbringing, your environment, your circumstances for where you are in life. But the truth is, your growth is entirely within your control. You are the one who decides to take action. You are the one who chooses to invest in your own development. Waiting for the right time, the right mentor, the right circumstances, these are just excuses. The time to grow is now. The decision to change, to improve, to take the necessary steps toward your potential is in your hands. You can either wait for someone else to push you, or you can take the reins and make the commitment to invest in yourself, your future, and your growth. This commitment to growth requires a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth rarely happens when you're playing it safe. To grow, you must challenge yourself, push past your fears, and embrace discomfort. Discomfort is the birthplace of progress. It's when you face difficult situations that you discover new strengths, new skills, and new capacities. Whether it's taking on a project you don't feel ready for, learning a new skill that feels overwhelming, or confronting your fears head on, stepping outside of your comfort zone is where the magic happens. It's where you unlock new possibilities for yourself, and it's where you realize that you are capable of so much more than you thought. As you commit to your personal growth, you also need to surround yourself with the right influences. The people you spend time with have a massive impact on your growth. If you surround yourself with people who challenge you, who encourage you, and who push you to be your best, you'll rise to new heights. But if you surround yourself with those who are stagnant, those who hold you back, or those who are constantly reinforcing your self-doubt, your growth will be stifled. So make a conscious effort to seek out mentors and communities that uplift you, that push you forward, and that inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Personal growth also requires you to be proactive. It's not enough to just wait for growth to happen. It's not enough to hope that things will get better on their own. Growth requires intention. You must take deliberate action toward your own development. This means setting goals for yourself, identifying areas where you want to improve, and taking consistent steps to make progress. Whether it's reading books, taking courses, seeking out feedback, or practicing new skills, growth happens through deliberate, focused action. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about making steady progress one step at a time and holding yourself accountable to the process. Sometimes the road to personal growth can be lonely. You might face moments of self-doubt, fear, or uncertainty. You might question whether the sacrifices you're making are worth it. But let me tell you something, the road to success is paved with challenges. It's those challenges, those moments when you want to quit but choose to keep going, that define your growth. The discomfort you feel is a sign that you're expanding. It's a sign that you're stepping into the person you're meant to become. Embrace the journey even when it's difficult, because it's shaping you into someone capable of achieving great things. And along the way, be kind to yourself. Personal growth is a process, not a destination. There will be times when you slip up, when you fail, or when you make mistakes. That's part of the journey. Growth isn't linear, and it doesn't happen in a straight line. But it's all part of the process. Every failure, every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to get better. Don't be discouraged by setbacks. Use them as fuel for your next step forward. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep improving. Ultimately, committing to personal growth means committing to becoming the person you are meant to be. It means stepping into your full potential, breaking through the limits you've placed on yourself, and becoming someone who adds value to the world. It means choosing to grow even when it's hard, and trusting that your efforts will pay off in ways you can't even yet imagine. The commitment to growth is not just a commitment to success. It's a commitment to your own evolution, a promise to yourself that you will never stop learning, never stop improving, and never stop striving to be the best version of you. Focus on what matters. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We are constantly bombarded with information, demands, and the pressures of day-to-day life. Our attention is pulled in 1,000 different directions, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about where to focus our energy. But in order to achieve meaningful success, you must learn to focus on what truly matters, to narrow your attention to things that will propel you forward, and to filter out the noise that can lead you astray. The first step in focusing on what matters is identifying your priorities. What are the things that truly align with your long-term goals and values? It's easy to get caught up in what seems urgent, but urgency doesn't always equate to importance. The key is to differentiate between what is truly important, the actions, relationships, and goals that will bring you closer to your vision, and what is simply a distraction. It's about being strategic with your time and energy. Ask yourself, does this move me closer to my ultimate goals? Or is it something that feels good in the moment but doesn't contribute to the bigger picture? Once you've identified your priorities, you need to commit to them fully. This means that you must guard your time and energy with intention. So much of our time is wasted on things that don't serve us or our goals, whether it's social media, mindless activities, or people who drain our energy without contributing to our growth. To focus on what matters, you must set boundaries and learn to say no to the things that are not in alignment with your vision. This can be difficult, especially when there are so many demands on your time, but the truth is that you cannot afford to give your attention to everything. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't contribute to your success or happiness, you're saying no to something that could. Protect your time and your energy as if they are the most valuable assets you have, because in many ways they are. Focusing on what matters also requires discipline. It's about building the mental toughness to stay on track, even when the world around you is full of distractions. In a society that values instant gratification and constant connectivity, it can feel like a challenge to commit to long-term goals that require sustained effort and patience. But real success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of focused, consistent effort over time. And to sustain that effort, you need to develop the discipline to stay committed, even when things get difficult. Discipline isn't about depriving yourself or forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about creating a structure in your life that supports your goals and allowing that structure to guide you even when your motivation wanes. In order to focus on what matters, you also need to be mindful of where you invest your energy. Energy is a finite resource. Every day you have a certain amount of energy to expend, and how you use that energy will determine your success. If you spend all your energy on things that drain you or on things that don't move you closer to your goals, you'll find yourself burned out and unproductive. But when you direct your energy toward things that truly matter, whether that's working on your craft, nurturing meaningful relationships, or pursuing personal growth, you'll find that your energy becomes a source of momentum. You'll feel more engaged, more driven, and more alive. So ask yourself regularly, where's my energy going? Is it being spent on things that matter, or is it being scattered in 100 different directions? There will be times when distractions come in the form of other people. Sometimes well-meaning friends, family members, or colleagues will try to pull you off course, either through their own insecurities, distractions, or their own lack of understanding of your goals. You must be prepared to set clear boundaries with others and communicate the importance of your vision. People who aren't aligned with your goals may not always understand your commitment to what matters, and that's okay. But it's your responsibility to stay true to your own path, even when others may not fully support or understand it. When you focus on what matters, you give yourself the freedom to make decisions based on your long-term well-being, not the fleeting desires or opinions of others. Sometimes focusing on what matters means making sacrifices. You may need to let go of things you once thought were important, whether that's relationships that no longer serve you, habits that aren't beneficial, or even hobbies or interests that take up your time without contributing to your growth. Sacrifice isn't about depriving yourself, it's about choosing what's best for you in the long run. It's about recognizing that you can't have it all, and that in order to create a life that truly reflects your values and goals, you must let go of the things that pull you away from them. This is not always easy, but it is necessary. To focus on what matters, you must be willing to make decisions that are aligned with your future, not your past. Focusing on what matters also requires patience. It's easy to become frustrated when you're working towards something important and the results don't come as quickly as you'd like. But remember, success is not about immediate gratification. It's about the long-term process of growth, learning, and building towards something meaningful. When you focus on what matters, you're in it for the long haul. You understand that the journey itself is valuable and that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward creating the life you truly want. Patience allows you to trust the process, knowing that by staying focused on the right things, the results will come in due time. One of the most important aspects of focusing on what matters is being present. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in worrying about the future or regretting the past. But true focus comes from being fully engaged in the present moment. Whether you're working on a task, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking time for yourself, being present allows you to make the most of each moment and make your actions more intentional. When you focus on the present, you're better able to invest your time and energy into what truly matters. And that, in turn, helps you make more progress toward your goals. In the end, focusing on what matters isn't just about accomplishing more, it's about living with purpose. It's about choosing to spend your time and energy on things that reflect your true values and align with your long-term vision. It's about filtering out the distractions, saying no to what doesn't serve you, and committing to what will move you forward. Life is short, and you don't have time to waste on things that don't matter. When you make the conscious decision to focus on what truly matters, you create a life that's your life of fulfilling and ultimately successful.